labor. But, being a Navy SEAL sucks. You do it when you're young. You do all the worst things when you're young. But then for the rest of your life, you're a fucking former Navy SEAL. You're set because you front-loaded the pain.
When you look back over your career, can you identify any sort of light bulb moments where you were exposed to information that caused a bit of a paradigm shift as it relates to how you think about wealth? Because I've had a couple of moments, and to varying degrees, but some real standout moments where I saw someone operate. I was exposed to how they made their money and how they built their wealth, and I thought, fuck, nobody told me this, and I had the game wrong. Yeah. Has there been those moments in your life?
For sure. I think there's actually studies showing something called economic interconnectedness, which basically shows that, say you have a poor neighborhood to the left and a poor neighborhood to the right, same socioeconomic status. So they both make around the same amount of money. If this neighborhood just has a few rich people in it, even though on average the neighborhoods are the same, and people in the poor neighborhood interact with rich people a little bit more on the left than they do on the right, if you go 30 years down the line, the kids that just had a few more interactions with rich people are going to be richer on average by 35% than the people in the same neighborhood to the right, except with less economic interconnectedness. And so what that tells me is, as often as possible, you want to be around people who are richer than you. Sounds obvious, kind of, but I don't think it's that obvious. You don't have to live next to them. You don't have to have their money. You just want to be around them because it is contagious in some ways. Ideas are contagious. And this ability to see into the future, I think, is contagious. If you think about it like you're driving in a car, the faster the car is going, the farther the headlights have to be able to peer into the future. Otherwise, you're going to blow off a cliff. And so I think when people are moving really fast, they have a lot of money and they have big risk to the things they do, their headlights are just a little bit farther than the rest of us. And so I got really lucky because I chose finance. Finance is full of people who are obsessed with money. I think there's a lot of, ethical issues in that industry, but all around me were rich people. So I remember one instance really, really well. And that was, I was in Chicago at the time. I was working at Goldman Sachs, and the head of the Chicago office was a guy by the name of Bruce. And Bruce was a good guy. He ran the fixed income division. And after I left Goldman Sachs, I kind of stayed in touch with a few people there, including Bruce. Well, one day I find out Bruce becomes the ambassador to Canada. I was like, Canada? I don't even know if Bruce had been to Canada. Like, he's not how did that happen? And so I started talking to a few other people and I realized, oh, you buy ambassadorships in the US. And so you could Google right now and see what the average ambassadorship in the US costs. The answer is about $1 million directly donated to a president, plus a couple $1 million donated in a PAC. So Bruce bought the ambassadorship, which I thought was fascinating. And I was like, shit, I didn't realize that was for sale. Like, that's it. You just buy those things? That's so bizarre. And that flipped my perspective entirely to realize, oh man, money really just is power. And can you imagine how wide open your ability must be for abundance if you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to buy a position of authority in the world? Never even would enter my equation.